Hey, kia ora. Helen Brums here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Welcome to our podcast number 1108, and that's how many days in a row we have been going. So tonight, this is the Before the Dirt Nap podcast. Still getting used to doing the new intro, so I apologize for that. But it's all in good fun anyway, and when you're live, just go with the flow. So tonight I am super excited to introduce you to Stu Weinstock. Stu, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Helen. I am so honored to be here with you tonight.
Now, Stu is an amazing guy. I'm going to read his bio. His bio was in the scheduling. I don't even know what it's called. The thing I put out there to say that we're scheduled a thing. Stu Weinstock is a ketogenic lifestyle coach and licensed school psychologist. He has helped families and their children in school and clinical settings for over 35 years. He is an administrator to a keto recipes group for beginners on Facebook, which has over 75,000 members. And I will tell you, it is a very active group. Questions get asked in there all the time. Stu is very engaging in that group as well. Stu resolved several health issues along with releasing. We're teaching Stu new language, releasing over losing, with releasing 40 pounds through embracing the keto lifestyle and diet 9 years ago. He has never looked back and has kept his weight off through the years. He consults and motivates clients that they can do the same and help resolve health issues through the use of keto. Stu has been trained in keto through his mentors Maria and Craig Emmerich, world-renowned keto coaches and authors of the best-selling books on Amazon. Stu is I was about to say as a hero, but he is in the keto world. Stu is here to help you develop your greater confidence, adopt healthier habits, and create big wins in your keto fat burning journey. Wow, there's a lot in there for that.
Sounds good to me.
It does. So how does one discover the lifestyle of how does one discover the lifestyle of the keto lifestyle? So we're here to talk keto, and we're all talking about how to live our best life. And health is one of those things that we need to take into account when we want to live our best life. Because if we don't have good health, we can't really live our best life. So how does one discover the keto lifestyle?
Well, I will give you my personal experience, Helen. About 9 years ago, I wasn't feeling very good. I had some health issues that were creeping up that was really hampering my day-to-day functioning, and I needed to go to my doctor and discuss my health-related issues. I have a history, and I will tell the audience, I have a history of ulcerative colitis, which is inflammation of the colon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was flaring up big time 9 years ago, and I went to my gastroenterologist. And I said, listen, I need some help here. The medication doesn't seem to be helping me. Could you change the medication or could you do something for me? And we discussed, believe it or not, with a medical professional, diet and nutrition. And I said to him, do you think there's something I can do with my diet and what I'm eating on a daily basis that could really turn this around? He said, we have a dietitian on staff. We'd like you to meet her and connect with her, and she will take an assessment of what you're eating nutritionally and make some recommendations that could very well help with your ulcerative colitis condition, and I went to the dietitian, and she was fantastic, and she introduced me to keto and low carb, all the strategies that I needed to do to improve my health, to stay away from inflammatory foods like dairy products and nuts, nut flours and nut butters. She indicated to me that you're having too much cheese. I said, yeah, I do like cheese a lot. She said, listen, with colitis, with anything inflammatory, you got to stay away from that. It's going to help you lose weight also. She said, do you consume too much sugar? I said, yeah, I like candy. I like, chocolate bars and stuff. And she said, no, we're going to get you off of the sugars and the starches because they are creating inflammatory signals to your body also that could be exacerbating your colitis condition. And so I followed along. Initially, I didn't really want to change my habits. I guess because of my age, it's kind of difficult to change habits. But I did. I came around to changing what I was eating to eat more nutritional, protein, nutrient-dense products like steaks, hamburgers, poultry, eggs, and eliminating the sugars and the starches, particularly in the dairy and the nuts, the things that were really inflaming my system. And I did turn around. I was losing weight over a 5-month period to the accord of like 40 pounds. And it helped my health considerably. It resolved my health disorder, the ulcerative colitis. I'm going to have that all my life, but it's in check. It's controlled. And it's controlled basically by nutrition. What I eat helps quite a bit with my condition. And I'm very much enamored with the ketogenic lifestyle and diet. And here I am preaching this and encouraging others that they can change their health situation. And if they choose to lose weight, they can do it too. And for me, I've never looked back. I consistently have the weight release of the 40 pounds, and it's never come back to me. I'm very active. I do some very brisk walking for at least a half an hour, 5 or 6 times a week. And I'm very content. I feel very, very good doing keto and low carb, and I encourage it for others also.
That's an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that with us. I love the gastroenterologist. Yes, yes, Brad and I, unfortunately, with his rectal cancer, we learned more about the human digestive system than we ever wanted to know. So I totally get the inflammatory stuff, because there were certain foods that he had to give up because of his cancer, and or especially the sugar.
Yeah.
I was saying cancer loves sugar, so we had to go away from the sugar, and I still snuck in my pieces of chocolate. I am a huge chocoholic. I will do just about anything for chocolate. But it has to be good chocolate. There's certain chocolate I will not touch with a 50-foot barge pole.
Well, I have weaned people off of chocolate completely. Patients that coaching clients that have said to me, "Well, I just can't live without my chocolate." Well, yes, you can. There are other snacks that you can consume that's more nutritious. I mean, there's sugarless Jell-O. I mean, have you tried that? That's something I prescribe.
Sugarless Jell-O?
Yes, yeah, sugarless Jell-O.
Yeah, no, that just doesn't have the same flavor as chocolate. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's not the sugar, because I will eat chocolate that's my favorite is dark chocolates, at least 85% cacao. So, and I know the higher the cacao, the less sugar.
Yes, and that's a good rule of thumb. And we have
Yes.
clients that have chocolate with high cocoa substance.
But I also learned how to make chocolate too. I took this on one of the online colleges. They actually had a course on raw chocolate. So it's using raw ingredients, not processed ingredients.
Right.
And it was all natural. There was some heating of it, but when he was, and they were all done on video. So when he was there making, you could either follow along the video or sit and watch the video. They had all the recipes there for you to download for each course and all of that. And we did everything from chocolate ice cream to hot chocolate to chocolate treats. So I have all my molds and all that, and I've got all my cacao butter and my cacao powder and all organic, unprocessed stuff there. And they use monk fruit for a sweetener. And sometimes he would use raw, unprocessed honey, which I love raw, unprocessed honey. And I know it's a simple glucose, and I know it's a sugar thing. And
right.
Yeah, but there's nothing like raw, unprocessed honey. And and some honey, we get the right honey, they actually have antibacterial properties in them. So.
Well, honey is not on my list for clients, but you would like our flourless chocolate tart very, very much.
I am into flourless chocolate whatevers.
I have a client who just loves that. She loves to bake. She said, "Stuart, this is so super," and I said, "Take it easy on it. You can have some, as a treat, but she loved it. It was Marie Emmerich's recipes. And
that would be awesome. I could
Yeah.
get a copy of that one, please.
Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
definitely hand it off to you. I
That
think
would
you'll
be
love
awesome because I'm always looking for ways to cut the sugar out,
it.
especially the processed sugar. But I do love my monk fruit for sweetener.
That's a good
Um,
one.
yes, that is a good one, and it's one of my favorite ones that I like to use rather than like the stevias and the splendors and those sorts of things. I absolutely love the monk fruit for that, and you don't need a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
we
not sure
have
about agave nectar though. Am I allowed that one?
we have a cinnamon roll recipe that's off the charts that you would love also. And there's a number of excellent recipes that Maria has put together for her clients and followers, and they're low carb. They're good. They're good for you. They're not going to harm you or give you excess carbohydrates or calories. They're very, very good treats. So
I
they're
have to get nutritional information because I have a really good pizza that I like from Pyology, which is a custom made
right.
one, and they have a cauliflower base.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's has olive oil,
Right.
pesto, ricotta cheese, and mozzarella,
Oh wow.
mushrooms, spinach, bacon. Hang on, the base, olive
Right.
oil, pesto. I've got to count the ingredients because there's 9 ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Spinach, mushrooms, bacon, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, and unfortunately it has pineapple on there. And if I take the pineapple off, it would be more keto friendly than with the pineapple.
Yes, that's very, very true. I try to encourage clients to have the mindset that this is not a restrictive diet, even though there are certain things that are off limits that they need to steer clear of. There's still a medley of wonderful foods and things that we can put together that are very nutritious, good for them, low carb, that they'll enjoy. A lot of people kind of get into this and say, "Oh my God, I can't. I'm going to miss my cheese. I'm going to miss my nuts. I'm going to miss my M&Ms." There are other things.
I'm not going to miss M&Ms. That's one chocolate thing I won't eat.
Well, this is one young man that used to have M&Ms. So I got weaned off of that nine years ago, and it's a good thing. And they really don't taste. I mean, if I were to taste an M&M now or a key lime pie with a lot of sugar in it, it wouldn't taste good to me, because I've steered clear of these sweets with large sugar bases and fructose and the excessive carbohydrates. I've steered clear of this over the years, and it's served me well. I could never really go back. And like I say, just one taste. I was at a get together at a friend's house about a week or two ago, and they were offering me these chocolate chip cookies. And I said, "Well, how are these made?" And they were describing it to me, and I said, "Yeah, take a little taste of it." And it didn't even taste good to me. I've been away from sugar so long that I know that when I'm eating something or just even taking a little bite out of something, doesn't handle right for me. It doesn't feel right for me. So anyhow, that I think certainly a lot of us need to steer clear of sugar. I think a lot of us have sugar cravings, food cravings that are normal, but an excess amount of sugar is just not good for the system, and it really runs into a way where it can inflame, various disorders, arthritic disorders. A lot of disorders are inflamed by excessive use of sugar and starches. So anyway, I try to lead a very clean life in how I practice, what I eat. And yeah, so I enjoy the keto lifestyle, and I keep it low carb and keto every day as much as I can. Sometimes I do make a mistake, and I do tell my clients, "Oops, I made a little bit of a mistake," and I didn't feel too good the next day. It kind of, you have to be very cautious when you go into restaurants with sauces and rubs, and different coatings they put on meats. If you don't ask if there's, hidden carbs is one of the dilemma of people that are in low carb and keto. They don't realize that some of these sauces and rubs add up in terms of their carb limit. And to me, if you're really genuinely looking to lose weight, you really should embrace about 20 total grams of carbs or less on a daily basis. That has been shown up at Duke University with Dr. Westman, who handles the weight loss clinic, to be the litmus test. If you can get to a 20 total grams of carbs or less daily, you're more apt to lose weight as opposed to if you're over, but everybody's different. Everybody has a different equation. What works for one person may not work for another. And I've learned that very much in working with people directly. Certain things are helpful for people, and some things are not. And everybody's personality is very different in terms of their nutrition, what they want to put in their mouths. And sensitivity, I found that in my line of work, and also as a psychologist, that being compassionate, having sensitivity for others in terms of how they're feeling about things is very, very important to understand, and certainly the compassion. And a lot of people are working and fighting against false assumed beliefs that they cannot lose weight. And they've had many numerous attempts where they have not lost weight, and they come to keto as kind of the last resort. And those people, I'm very, very sensitive to that. Hey, you're going to find success here. We're going to be very gentle and very kind with you and understanding, and we give you a whole listing of things you can eat and things that you can't eat. I try to be very emphatic with my clients and be very clear with them what is possible for them. 1 to 2 pounds weekly in terms of weight loss is very, very good.
Yep.
Very good.
I agree with that one.
A lot of people are very upset with me for saying that, I want to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds a week. But to me, slow weight loss is much better than fast weight loss in terms of sustaining it and over the long haul. And I teach my clients that very, very much, that it is a victory, 1 to 2 pounds losing weight. And a lot of my clients, they like to go on the scale every day. I say, well, once on a Sunday morning is okay. But, they like to do it daily. They go on the scale. Okay. There could be little minor blips from day to day. Ideally, with weight release, it's good to weigh yourself once a week to take a look at your progress with weight release.
And the reason that we're using the word release instead of loss is because the brain goes into find mode. When it hears the word loss, it goes, we've lost something, let's go find it. But if you release it, then it doesn't have a reason to go and look for it. But you had me back when you said you're talking about, like steaks and chicken and eggs and that. I'm sort of like, I am so there. That's my favorite food group.
Well, it's interesting, Helen. It's good because those are virtually zero carb, and they satiate the appetite better than any other food group. Those proteins, those steaks and hamburgers and chops, and lamb chops, and poultry.
But I like lamb chops with mint sauce. But I can make a keto-friendly one.
Sure, you can.
It's mint with malt vinegar, basically, and just a little bit of sugar. So you put a couple of drops of monk fruit in there, and you're good to go.
Yes. The fun thing about keto is you can make adjustments that are more apt to make the dish low carb and more keto friendly, and that's a wonderful thing about keto. A wonderful gentleman I met online, he was saying, well, my wife loves to do mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. Well, how about cauliflower rice instead of the mashed potatoes? That's pretty delicious too. I've developed a taste, for the cauliflower rice.
I
And,
love the cauliflower rice. Oh
and
my gosh, the first time we had cauliflower and we mashed it up like it was mashed
yeah,
potatoes
yeah,
and put a little bit of garlic in there and a little bit of butter, and oh my gosh, that was so good.
yeah,
That was awesome.
it is.
I said to Brad, I said to him, I said, this is way better than real mashed potatoes. And so we
It,
just put it in the food processor to let it, instead of mashing it, we put it in the food processor. And
yeah,
that was like the best mashed potatoes ever. And the mashed potato hash brown, the cauliflower hash browns,
yes,
unbelievable. They're actually more tastier and crispier than regular hash browns.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I keep some in my freezer.
They're
Throw
amazing.
them on my George Foreman grill, and they're good to go after a few minutes.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with cauliflower, for crust for pizza. It's totally amazing. And there are so many tasty and great dishes you can make that are keto and low carb and much more preferable to anything else. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of rice, but cauliflower rice, I will eat that stuff all day long. And
yeah,
it's as versatile as rice. You can use it as a sweet, you can use it as a savory. You can make what have I made recently with the thing? Like you can make like the puddings with the cauliflower
yes.
and still keep it low carb and do it that way.
Very
But
much.
yeah, I love cauliflower for a substitute for potatoes, except for they don't make very good fries.
Yeah. With the zucchini fries, there are different versions of things that you could try. But I'm glad you like protein. A lot of women do not get enough protein.
I grew up in New Zealand, so we were very much meat and 3 veg every night for dinner, and so always had meat around. And I've always loved my red meat, always have.
Oh,
I tried vegetarian and vegan for a while. I couldn't hack. I was craving the red meat way too much. And somebody said it could be because I'm an O neg on my blood type. That's the reason that I crave the red meat so much. But I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what somebody told me. And I thought, kind of makes sense, but I just like my red meat. But I do have an issue with steak. Now, this will be an interesting one because you said that the protein sustains you throughout the day. And I had one person I was working with one time, and she was trying this new plan. So I was sort of like a guinea pig for her. And I told her about this problem that I have with steak. Now, I will eat steak till the cows come home. I mean, I love my steak.
right.
And I will quite happily sit down and eat an 8 to 16 ounce portion, no problem at all.
Uh-huh.
20 to 30 minutes after I finish eating, my stomach starts growling.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Only on steaks, not on hamburgers, not on chops, not on fish, not on poultry, only on steaks.
Well,
And this woman didn't believe me. And so we're sitting there in a steak restaurant and we're having this beautiful steak. And it was a great filet. It was a beautiful filet, nice and tender, cooked, medium rare, perfection. And we're sitting there and I finished the last mouthful and we're sitting there and we're just sitting there having a conversation afterwards. And all of a sudden my stomach just starts growling. She looks at me and she goes, "What was that?" And I go, "It's 20 to 30 minutes. I said, "Look at your watch. It's probably about 20 to 30 minutes after we've eaten and my stomach is growling."
Well, let me ask you this. Do you drink liquids with your meal, or do you drink your liquids principally after your meal?
I have learned that I learned the other day when we had Nicole on a couple of, was it 3 days ago?
Nice.
And so she was so she got me off. Although growing up, we wouldn't have water at the table, so we never drank with our food at the table. If we wanted something to drink, we had to get up and go and get it. We never sat down and set the table with glasses and water or anything. So growing up, I didn't have that. When I was in the Air Force, of course, you're in the mess hall. So if you want anything to drink, you got to take it to the table with you. So you've got everything sitting there. So that's kind of when I started drinking food. I started drinking liquids with my meal. And then it's sort of like will come and go. Sometimes I'll have the glass there. It will still be sitting there exactly as it was when I sat down. But yeah, I usually do. But when I'm eating something like steaks and that, I typically don't drink as much as I normally do.
Yeah, Maria Emmerich believes that you should eat your meal first and then drink. That allows for the digestive juices to kind of work. And
That's what Nicole was telling us the other day as well.
really, same thing. Oh, we're in the same camp. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's good to hear.
So far, I'm not hearing any conflicting information, so we're good.
Yeah. It's funny. I usually drink my liquids right after my meals. Years ago I used to have them with the meal, and now after, and I find that better for my digestion. And that's what Maria Emmerich recommends. So I'll go with that. What Nicole is recommending too. So
yeah. So we were talking about that, and I'm sort of like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I can work with that. And like they say, you can have a glass of water, like was about 30 minutes before you eat if you're feeling thirsty.
Right, sure.
Then allow the food to do what the food does, allow the digestive system to do what it does. And then afterwards, you can go and have it. But wait about 30 minutes after you've eaten before you go and drink.
Yeah.
And see, because I was eating steak, whenever I eat steak, I don't drink as much water when I'm eating than I do on any other meal where I don't have the steak, where I will guzzle my water.
Right. And here's another point that a lot of people get into a little hang up about. You should never drink your calories. If you're somebody who's fixing to lose weight, steer away from the coffees with the butter, heavy whipping cream you put in, all these calorie-laden ingredients into your coffee in the morning. You're drinking your calories like 500, 600, 700 calories right in the start of the day. And a lot of people kind of get caught in that snafu. Well, why am I not losing weight? Well, you're drinking your calories, and perhaps even steering away from caffeine could help you also, because for some, caffeine can escalate glucose levels. It can escalate insulin levels. For some, not all. But if for somebody out there listening to us, if you're having difficulties losing weight, be conscious of what you're drinking. Drink water. I like Hint water, H-I-N-T. It's a flavored water. Comes in all sorts of varieties. I have my cherry Hint water with me, and I love it. It's a nice tasting water, low carb, zero carbs. You can't go wrong with that. But that's something that you can correct very quickly if, in fact, you're putting too much of the goodies in your bulletproof coffee in the morning. That could really work against you, because the calories do build up. And even though people in keto say that we never look at calories, sometimes we do. Certainly if there's an issue with weight loss and weight release, and you really are wanting to release more weight and really trim down, water is the way to go. Hint water or Fiji water I love very much. Walmart.com has a number of different no-carb waters that are available. They're a wonderful outlet, Walmart.com. And yeah, that would be one of my suggestions too for people to look at.
I like my smoothies with coconut water and spinach and asparagus.
Yeah.
I do put a green apple in there, though. It's a Granny Smith, so it's a bit of a sour taste in there. And then I use a vegan protein.
I see.
For that. And then the collagen goes in there as well. So, but that's a meal. That's not a snack. That's not what we have with a meal. That is the meal.
I see.
I do drink my calories at least once a day, because I have a smoothie once a day.
Okay. Well, another thing that's interesting.
And cucumber goes in there too.
Oh, cucumber, that's a good veggie. I love that.
So I've got cucumber, asparagus, spinach, Granny Smith apple, sometimes lemon juice or lime juice goes in there too, and coconut water, and then my protein powder.
Well, with non-starchy veggies like the broccolis, asparagus, cucumber, Brussels sprouts of the world, generally daily up to 1 cupful uncooked is enough. If you're fixing to lose weight, 1 cupful or a fistful of cauliflower and all those non-starchy veggies uncooked, up to 1 cupful a day is enough. If you're going over 1 cupful, you're putting on more carbs maybe that you can really deal with. This is a rule of thumb they talk about at the weight loss clinic at Duke University, that a lot of people have the notion that you can have unlimited veggies. Hey, I'm doing keto. I can have broccoli up to the kazoo, and cauliflower and this, that, and the other, and Brussels sprouts. Nope, nope, just one fistful a day. That's, if your intent is to lose weight, that's what I inform my clients. Now, if it's iceberg lettuce or greens, you can have two fistfuls. That's fine daily. But that's basically some of my hard and fast rules I use with clients. Anyway, I just
Well, living in an RV in Arizona right now, it gets very warm inside, even if you do
Right.
have the ACs on, but it's triple digits outside. And most people don't realize that when you live in an RV, the AC units will only keep you cool up to 20 degrees cooler than what it is outside.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I'm pretty cool. I've got these screens, these solar screens that are on the outside of my windows that help stop it from heating up. So it helps keep it a little bit cool up to 30 degrees. So it's kind of cool. But, we're currently sitting at 78 inside right now, and it's like 105 outside.
Is that right?
But when it gets to these sorts of heats, I do not cook. I don't use the gas cooker because it just gets too hot. There is no way in heck I'm standing outside in three-digit temperatures with a gas cooker out there.
Yeah.
I do not use microwaves at all. It's my second storage. It's a pantry because I hate cooking with microwaves. I do have an air fryer that I haven't used for a few months because that kind of puts out the heat a little bit. And I've got a George Foreman grill for my cauliflower hash browns and my meat. But that's basically my cooking, and everything else is done with with my blender. I've got a thing that hard boils my eggs for me. I have my Instant Pot, which I love cooking in my Instant Pot. I love that thing. I'm not full keto. Just giving that out there. They put me on a paleo.
Right.
Doctors told me paleo over keto, and I didn't believe them, so I went on keto, and then went, oh, maybe I should listen to the doctor.
Well,
on this one, I have oatmeal twice a week. So the Instant Pot is great for cooking, especially steel cut oatmeal, because it's not as processed as the instant ones. Right. And again, the monk fruit syrup. I love monk fruit.
That's the best sweetener. Yeah. It truly is. Well, you
don't need a lot.
Yeah, it's true. And you got the air fryer is so popular. I love my air fryer.
It bakes. It dehydrates. It's got a rotisserie thingy bobby in it too, and it does the air frying thing and roasts. It does a roasting cycle as well. So I like about 6 or 7 different cycles on there. And then with my Instant Pot, it's got like 8 or 9 different cycles on there, including hard-boiled eggs and porridge and. Right. So between those two, it's all about keeping the heat down inside the RV when I am cooking. So I don't get a lot of cooked vegetables at this time of the year. I eat a lot of raw vegetables at this time of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of them end up in my smoothies, because sometimes it says, you got to have so much. And I'm like, there ain't no one going to eat that, but I'll drink it.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Well, everybody's very different. Everybody's very different, in terms of their likes and dislikes and what works for them. And certainly you found success with weight release. So I
am down. I've released 20 pounds since April 4th. And 12 of that has been in the last 8 weeks.
Nice.
So I'm pretty pleased with it. And the cool part, the one that I'm on, is they turned around and says, what foods are you allergic to? What foods will you refuse to eat?
Right.
So anything that's on my eating plan is all the foods I love. Right. I even get my daily dose of chocolate. But I found these at Sprouts, they have these round chocolate discs that are like 85% cacao. They're not that sweet at all. There's not very many carbs in them, because I send all the nutrition information off to the person I'm working with.
Sure.
And they allow me to have up to 100 calories, and I've got the micro things broken down. And I said, okay, 5 of these discs is 160 calories, and here's the breakdown. And when I discovered these things, I eat only 1, maybe occasionally 2 a day.
Right.
But by the time you do the macros and you divide that by 5 for their serving thing, I'm
Right.
hardly eating anything at all.
Mm,
It's
mm.
almost yes, the calories are there, but as far as the protein, the carbs, and the fats go, it's well under what they've given me for a daily allowance on my chocolate.
I see. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. Well,
So 160 divided by 5 is what, 30 calories. So 30 calories for one disc,
mm.
and that's all I need. It's just this little round thing about this big, about this thick, and that's my chocolate for the day.
Well, it's working for you, so I have to commend you and congratulate you. Everybody is very, very different. If you find a program or a system that works for you, go with it. Go with it. If you're
But I
feeling
love the recipes that you put out there, and I'm sort of like, I'm gonna try that one. That one requires cooking. We'll wait till the non-cooking ones come on.
Well, in my group, I post recipes all day long, and it's for really a large group of folks. We have some people in my group that are low carbers. We have some people that do keto. We have some people that just gawk and they just there for the recipes, and things they feel could be healthy for them. We have people that are very, very strict keto in the group. There's a whole variety of audiences in that group. So my recipes are for a good cross section of people. Most all of them are keto, but some are more apt for the low carb community.
But they're great recipes. I have one of the. I've been able to look at for a long time. Been able to look at a recipe,
Yeah,
and know how it's going to taste.
yeah,
And then look at a recipe and go, well, if I took that out and replaced it with this, that'll taste better. So I've had a knack of doing that. Sorry, my dog's just found her. This is her latest toy.
Oh wow,
It's a slobster roll.
that's lobster roll. Yeah.
It came in her latest bark box, and it very loud. Yes, you can have that back in a couple of minutes. Okay, good girl. She'll probably pop up next to me. But I had one person who gave me this beautiful nut-filled recipe to put inside zucchini,
Right.
and I tasted it. I said, "There's something missing," and she was offended because she was like, "It's everything that was in the recipe. It's exactly what the recipe said." I said, "No, it needs something." And I went to my pantry, opened it up, and the agave nectar put its hand up, went me, and I was sort of like, And so then I went back, and so I'm like scanning something else, and the agave nectar was going, "Come on, pick me." So you kind of get this gut feeling on food when you open up a pantry and go, "Now, what do I feel like, or what does this recipe need?"
Yeah, for sure.
And so I pulled out the agave nectar, and she was horrified. She said, "You are not putting that in my recipe." So I just quietly took a couple of tablespoons of this thing, put one drop of agave nectar into those 2 tablespoons, mixed it all up, tasted it, and said, "Here, try this." She tasted it, got the bowl, and handed it to me and go, "Here, put that in there." But that was back when we were figuring out diets for Brad with the cancer on his first go around with it. So but it was a very good nut mix, but it just needed just a touch of sweetener in it.
Yeah. It's you can adjust recipes just with a little nuance, a little change of ingredient. It's real interesting, to say the least. So.
Well, we have to wrap this up because we've actually gone over time.
Did we really?
We did. So
I didn't even look at. I didn't even look at the time. I knew my phone rang, but I'll get back with them later. People calling me at 9:38
But
p.m.
Stu, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and educating us a little more on keto. And we are going to have you back because before we came live, we were talking about how some products are labeled keto. But when you actually read the labels, they're not as keto friendly as you think.
Very much.
And so we're gonna do another episode on reading labels for keto products.
Absolutely.
But Stu, tell us about your giveaway that has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen all this time.
Yes. Well, if you come to my website, I offer a wonderful periodical, a little thing I put together. It's called the Busy Mom's Keto Kit, 7 days of quick and easy breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. And it's 21 of my favorite keto recipes,
Nice.
basically. and they're easy to prepare, very quick and tasty. And you get this free of charge by putting in your first name and email address at my website, which is ketorecipesexpress.com. And yeah, this free of charge, and you'll get this beautiful book of tremendously nice recipes. So, and
I can't. I've got the link to go and I've got the link to download it. I just haven't had a chance to download it yet, so
yeah,
I can't wait to have a look at it because
the recipes are totally amazing. You know, it's basic stuff like red flannel hash and eggs.
red flannel hash.
Yeah.
Isn't flannel like a face cloth?
Well, it's tastier than it sounds. I will tell you that. And here's a salmon, bok choy salmon.
I love salmon.
One of my favorite fish is salmon. I do like salmon. I have maybe too much of it per week, but it's delicious, and I like it with broccoli, steamed broccoli. That's really my favorite dinner. And of course, chaffles are really, really very popular in keto, and you get all these fabulous things that you could eat in keto. And my favorite soups, cauliflower cheese soup with pancetta.
Ooh,
I love soups.
Yum.
And these are my favorite 21 recipes. So if you come to
I'll be careful with soups because a lot of soups have onion as a base, and I'm allergic to onions. So I've got to. So basically, the soups, when I do them, I have to home make them anyway. So I'm always looking for recipes.
Yeah, no onions in this soup. No.
Awesome. I'm in for that one.
We were looking after for you, Helen.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So it's a pretty nice manual. Chicken and zucchini enchiladas. This is one of my favorite recipes. And you get the nutritional ingredients, the fats, the carbohydrates, the protein.
Nice.
So it's a great little book. Busy Mom's Keto Kit. So if you want to
download a copy of that, go to ketorecipesexpress.com, fill out the form, and it will shoot you an email. And in that email is a link for you to click to download the book. It's that easy, and it doesn't cost you anything except a couple of minutes.
That's right. And
Stu, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and educating us on keto. It's actually been very enlightening for me because I thought I knew what keto was, but having this conversation with you has sort of like, okay, I don't know as much about it as I thought I did.
Well, let me tell you a funny story, Helen. Our dear friend Casey, he watches all my TikTok videos and Instagram videos because I give little tips on keto and what to eat, not to eat. And I see he's clicking the love sign. I love this because he told me I watch the videos because it helps me with my keto journey. So isn't that a funny story?
Yes. So you can check out Stu on TikTok and on Instagram Reels. He does these they're really cute little short videos. And some of them have some really some of them are jokes, and some of them are hints and tips on keto. They're just little short snippets, and I have to laugh at the jokes, but some of them are really bad jokes. Like, they would be considered like dad jokes. Corny, as my stepsons would call them.
It's funny. I do those.
But I love them.
A lot of people do, and it's the real Stu Weinstock at Instagram and TikTok. So come join me on those two platforms, and you'll enjoy what you hear and see.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Stu, again, thank you so much for being here with us today. We truly appreciate it. And to everybody else, we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm not sure, I can't remember if I have a guest or not. We'll have to wait and find out, because I know I've got a whole bunch of people that I've got lined up to bring to you guys that all have specialties in some area to help you live your best life now before the dirt nap. So that's the Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1108. We are signing off, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.